Hi everybody, welcome back to Shotliff Family Firewood. This week we just don't have a lot of time for firewood, and I haven't had a chance this winter yet to really showcase. This Johnson wood boiler serves two purposes. Clearly, heat to the house and hot water. You can't beat it. The hot water alone. If you haven't experienced hot water off of the boiler, you're going to want to. We have a 20 plate exchanger, and it does a phenomenal job. Never run out of hot water, and it's hotter than you've ever experienced out of a water heater in any of my experiences. So the other purpose that it serves is we burn through a lot of our scrap, our production scrap. I've spent the last couple of years really trying to build up my inventory so that I felt like I was at a level that I could start selling like larger amounts of firewood. When you're trying to produce sellable wood, there's a lot of scrap, especially when you're making it out of the stuff that I'm making it out of. Those trees that grow out of the fence line along fields and stuff, everything's crooked. So to get a straight piece that's production value, not every piece makes the cut. So anyway, I haven't done a clean out on this in quite some time, so we're going to do that today. We're going to ash clean out, check the water, and then we're going to rebuild the fire. So stick around and we'll get to work here. We brought the skid loader over here with the bucket, and the first thing we have to do is dump our ash can. That's been full for a while now, so when I do it like that, I can keep that ash dust to a minimum. Works pretty good. On this machine started with two blowers. I disconnected the blower in the door. I saw on some outdoor wood boiler forums and stuff that people recommended doing that on these, and I would recommend that as well. It's just a cleaner firebox, and seems like a drier burr, a lot less creosote without the door blower. The blower on the bottom goes in through a channel in the bottom, and so you can open this door to clean out ash. We'll go up here and we'll just make sure the fan's not going to turn on. Then it comes with this shovel that fits right in the Then what I do is I'll come in and I'll just rake the coals around, try and get all the ash or more ash down into that bottom tray. And then that's really what I do. I do that a few times. That kind of lets all the ash the finer ash go to the bottom. You see that I am pulling out some coals, but not real big ones. So get all that to the bottom, and that's all we have to do to clean it out. Okay, we took out, oh, 3/4, maybe more, of a garbage can of ash and coals. That's what she's looking like in there. We took a lot out, but there's plenty in there to keep going. So what we're going to do now is load it up. I've got a little bit of splitter slash here. This is the bigger, fresher splitter slash. This is just sawdust shavings and bark pretty much here, so I probably won't put this in now. I will put all this in, and then we'll go get some bigger pieces to load it up. We'll turn the blower back on in case it needs it, and it does. So we got that one empty, and the blower came on when we turned it back on. A lot of you might remember my temperature gauge up here. The story is, before I got this boiler, you can see the discoloration on the tin. Before I got this boiler, the guy that had it just up the road from me, his wood pile burned up, and so he fixed it and it was working, but I think his insurance probably bought him a new boiler, and he got rid of this one, and it was right up the road, and it was too good of a deal to pass up. Went up there with my skid loader and picked it up, brought it home. Yeah, it was just real easy. So, and I paid $1,000 for this thing. So, and it's been heating for 3 years now. I'd say that's a pretty good return on investment. Alright, we'll close that up, and we'll go take our wheelbarrow over and get some bigger logs that'll last through the day. So. Hey, you'll remember a couple videos ago I loaded up these 3 crates and that trailer. Shortly after we did that, we got pretty cold for a good stretch of time. And it's not so cold today, but later this week we're going to get some real brutal cold again. So that's what we've used in a couple weeks. The trailer in that basket and some of this one and that basket of slash. So I feel like we've burned quite a bit here lately, but it's been pretty cold. Getting out of these bigger baskets isn't exactly the most user friendly, but we can make it work. Just a few minutes, or a minute is all it takes. We'll have enough in there to get through the day. Like I said, yesterday and today aren't real cold. So let's get this over to the boiler. And when I load this thing, I load everything right up near the front. There is basically the only thing that blocking the chimney is this smoke bypass plate, and I never even opened that. But when I build the fire at the front, it's got to push the heat at least to the back to go around that up to the chimney. Otherwise it's wide open to the chimney, so it doesn't help much, but I think it does help a little. When you do a fresh clean out before it builds up any ash in the back, it will push. There's like no baffle in the back of that trough, so most of the air that's going through is going straight to the back and basically up and out, if that makes sense. But we're getting a pretty decent fire going now, so that'll be it for loading the boiler. Give me a minute and I'll kind of show you what we've used so far this year. Alright, so we're coming down here, show you what we've used so far. But keep in mind that our house is an old like 1900s farmhouse. It's been standing well over 100 years, and there's very little insulation in it, if any. I redid 2 rooms, and when I took the plaster and lath off the wall, all that was in the wall was another layer of plaster and lath. Now that was literally the only insulation in there. So I had this big cage, pallet, crib, whatever you want to call it, and this is what I did for boiler wood. So basically throughout the year, last year, anything that was off-cut, knotty, short, anything that I didn't want in production wood came into here. So let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a little over 5 pallets long. We've gone through 3.5 pallets worth. You know, the peak in there is 8 feet, 9 feet, somewhere in there. Probably 8 feet off of the pallet. We've used that much. We've also used 3 of our tote bladder halves that have slash in it, and like this stuff, you know, I take up there and I'll just throw a couple of shovels of this stuff in every time I fill it. You know, that way we get something out of this stuff. I just don't want it to go to waste when I have a need for heat. So, you know, nothing goes to waste, or as little goes to waste as possible. So that is a bunch of kindling in that one, so that's not a boiler basket, but that one, and those 3, if I can get that one without dumping it out, are all for the boiler as well. And maybe as it warms up in the spring, I'll have to hit that stuff a little harder to get that burned up. But there's 1, and I had 2 up at the boiler, so that are about empty. So with that being said, our next project that I might work on today is this green truck. Needs a radiator, and so I think I might get it up in the shed. I got the radiator ordered. It's coming this week. I don't know that I'm the expert to do it, but this truck ain't worth enough to have anybody else work on it. So and I bought this truck, or actually got this truck given to me, but I wanted this truck for basically to be a trailer pony, just to pull the dump trailer around, and right now it's not capable of doing that. It runs fine and it drives fine, kinda, and it stops fine, everything. It's got a leak, cracked radiator, but this utility body is just shot. I got 4 or 5 of the cabinets screwed shut. There's only 3 that open, and even this one, the floor is kind of rotted out underneath that carpet. So I've been looking for utility bodies too, so that might be a project this summer. But for now I could run with that box, but I got to get that radiator fixed before I'm trying to run it up and down the road too much. So that's the next project, and I appreciate you watching. We were supposed to get a little snow overnight, but we didn't. But it looks like it could snow at any minute. So we're supposed to get 1 to 3 is what I was told. So that's with that. I think we're going to call it the end of the video. We got a birthday party to go to, and I'm going to try and get a little bit done before then. So have a good week, everybody, and we'll see you on the next one.